All right. Hey, Sedge. So let's say I don't have one of these Vaxxis clamps at home.
Yep. Wow.
But I want to use it with my Domino. I'm trying to get things clamped up, and I want to be able to work off the table. I do have an MFT. What are some pointers for me?
Okay, it's been a question we've been getting a lot lately. I used to, over the years, I found a couple of tips and tricks on how to use just regular clamps with the MFT. So in this video, we're going to step you through the different applications I have found and how to use your MFT with the right clamps.
Cool.
Okay, so this is a clamp. It's my go-to clamp that I use all the time. There's a couple of tricks with this. Okay, and as we're talking, I'm going to grab another version of this right here. Okay, so they're basically an F-style clamp, and this is a screw clamp. And over the years, I've seen people struggle with these, so I want you to practice with me really quick. When you see how there's a little bit of play in here, okay? That's so it moves freely up and down on this, the back here. When you take this and you're clamping something, bring it down and just don't start screwing with it here. Hold it back here, because that engages this bar right here. And you see how easy it is? Same thing with the ratcheting clamp. You just take it like this, bring it down. This here, you make sure it's all the way forward. That's what that green tab is. But engage it here, that way there. So what I want you to do is I want you to try it right here. Okay, bring it down. Perfect.
That's all right.
Yep, hold it back there. And that way there you get great reference.
Yeah.
So that's just the start.
All right.
All right, so in a video we did a few months back, we called it Domino in the Middle. You can go reference that. Big deal, have that referenced on this video. We showed you how to do a domino in the middle.
Yep.
Okay, and using this as your fence and putting a mark as long as it was at the top and folding it forward. Okay, so when you're clamping this here becomes your reference, and of course we reference the base of your domino, and it's 10 millimeters to the center.
Yep.
Okay, so this can get awkward in clamping, and sometimes it's not the right dimension, but it doesn't matter. You can eyeball it over a couple of holes here, and when you're clamping this, I'm going to grab this one, you grab this one, you bring it here, you bring it up like this, and now you're ready to rock and roll. See that?
Oh, wow.
So it's not just making sure it's at a perfect 90 or reference to. You can actually tilt it, because on the MFT, the holes are a perfect array, 90 degrees to each other, whether this way or this way.
Awesome. All right, what's next?
I got a question for you.
Oh.
What's one of those rules that I've always gone through when using a domino? Always work
Off the table.
Okay, good. We'll stop on that.
Okay.
So that is where we talk about the domino. And yes, I will hammer this over and over and over. This is the plate, and this is the base. Okay? So the majority of the time, we're referencing what?
The plate.
The plate, okay? So I've seen so many people do this. They'll reference it like this when doing 3/4, and there's actually a very minor space. So when I'm doing this, and you know, or we know now, that we always mark our boards, right?
Yep.
Okay, and always referencing the right face. So I'm just going to take this and make a quick mark. That way there I know I'm going to reference this piece here with the plate. And I know I'm going to plunge horizontally. I know my plate's going to go up here. I got to plunge what? Vertically.
All right.
I always label my, this is pre-finished plywood. You just wipe it off with some crud cutter. Okay, or some, don't use solvent because you'll ruin this, but just some cleaner. But what I'll always do is, this is why I do like the Vaxxis, because automatically I'm off of the table.
Right.
My base doesn't hit this at all. So here's your clamp.
Okay.
We're gonna take it like this, and I'm gonna bite it a little here, and you're gonna get it there. Got it? And now, when I'm using my domino, that base doesn't get hung up on the surface.
Easy peasy.
Cool. So, I've seen other people do this. It's easy for us to just do this right off the edge. But there will be some instances where, as long as you have another piece underneath, we can actually clamp it like this to do this butt joint. And we'll just take it like this, go ahead and clamp it right here. Just like that. Perfect.
Cool.
So this is another great clamping technique.
Okay.
On an MFT. Take your clamp and put it right here. Okay. And you're gonna run into this situation. I used to run into this situation all the time. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's look at this. You see how these dog holes are too far away? Okay, look, see? I can't reach it. And this one, I'm barely getting it. Okay, it's troublesome. I'm not getting it.
No.
Always remember, you need 2 clamps. Okay, because this becomes a pivot point with one.
Right.
You see how that spins? So check this out. If you have something the same thickness and offcut of the material you're working with, which you obviously do, right? Position another piece of the same thickness like this. And what this is called, creating what is known as a bridge clamp. And you could take it like this, and you're actually creating this to be longer.
Okay. Or
this to be longer. And as long as you clamp back toward here, this is the toe and this is the heel. As long as you clamp back here, guess what? Check that out. Makes a nice solid clamp.
Oh, nice.
So there you go.
All right, Sedge. So how do I work with smaller parts?
Okay, and you still want to work off the table?
Off the table, yes, sir.
You know how I showed you how to build stuff up? You can clamp it down here. I have learned over the years, the corner of the MFT can be such a great clamping station for you.
Okay.
So let me show you how I set it up. I first take my clamp here like this, okay? And I'm gonna grab, well, thank you, doctor. Okay, and this dog here is perfect, and this is the perfect clamping area. I'm going to take that, see how I've created this channel? I believe this is 50 millimeter. I can take it like this, and look, that's my stop. So I'm gonna position it here, grab this like this, and really, really important to always double check this. When I'm using the domino here, this base is not hanging up on the table.
Okay.
But you see how I can do that? And look how that impedes the forward momentum of there. It's 2 points of contact. It works fantastic for small parts. And I can take that, if this was a little bit longer, and I can say I have another one here, I just take it like this, and just move my dog here, and I can work it here.
Cool.
As long as the base doesn't touch the table.
That's what's important. All right, cool. All right, Sedge, so we're still working with small material, but I have a lot of these little guys, and I'm trying to get the domino right here in the end. What's the best way to clamp that up?
Okay, I use pressure on the machine, but I also use a stop. See this? I got that dog in there.
Okay.
And I make sure the dog is in the hole where I can make sure that my base won't impede.
Okay.
Okay, it won't, in other words, my base doesn't touch the top here, because my reference where we've marked these is right here. And say you get 15, 20, 30 of these, say you get 30, that's 60 mortises, because you can just spin them as long as you mark what? The reference base.
Surface, yep.
Because we're going to be using this. This is the trim stop. I've actually set it up right here. There's my center line. There it is right there. So now it's a no-brainer. But here's the thing I want to coach you on. That impedes the forward momentum. Yeah, if we set it up, you could put 2 clamps on here. But you know what, going through this. So what I want to point out is this. When I do this, and this is what I mean by hand pressure, my thumb's here on the domino, and look where my fingers are. It's right here. Okay. So I could take that plunge and just go like this. I call it helicoptering, and do the other side like this. But I'm using a stop and hand pressure and thumb pressure. It makes it wicked easy.
Gotcha.
Okay, Big D, another way to clamp with the MFT is right here. See this right here? So I'm gonna have you take your clamp, slide it in this way.
Slide it in this way.
Okay, we're gonna bring it right here. So when you need to clamp something vertically, okay, remember it's always 2 clamps.
Yep.
2 clamps, okay? So I used to see people struggle with this and trying to set it up. This is workbench 101, okay? Where you always create a dead man. In other words, take that piece of wood, see that right there? See how it's, because if you start working this, it's gonna slide down. Gotcha. You want to deadhead it right there. So I'll just take that in there, clamp it like this, and guess what? I'll take another clamp, bring it right in here like this, bring it right in, and now you can work that piece. So that's clamping in the vertical position. So hopefully this video has helped you, but also has helped everybody else. You know how to use the clamps, you know how to use the dogs. So what do we always say?
Be positive.
Stay sharp. Wicked sharp.